Hi guys, good morning. I am headed to Florida after being idle all winter. I've planned a trip out. It's about a month and a half. I've been on the road about probably about 45 minutes. I'm gonna take 3 days to get there. 2 nights on the road. I'll be stopping at a campground because I have to unload my bed in order to sleep. I need a van. I'm in a little CRV and it takes skill to pack all this stuff I need. So anyways, I'll check back with you, check in once I get to camp and start unloading stuff. My first stop is going to be for lunch. We'll stop at Cracker Barrel on the other side of Oklahoma City and have lunch and go ahead and order my dinner so I can use my Hot Logic to warm it up. But that's later on in the day. So I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hello. I made it to Arkansas. It took me longer than originally planned because of construction. I know I was delayed 45 minutes in one of them, but I made it and got my decoy tent set up and all my stuff in that tent so I can get on my bed. I stopped around noon somewhere in Oklahoma. Excuse me. It was on the east side of Oklahoma City at Cracker Barrel and ate some lunch and then got a big enough meal that I could take the rest of it and have it for dinner. So it's warming in the Hot Logic. It'll be done in about an hour. Nice little campground, but I'm on the lake, as you can see behind me. And right here where I am, there are 3 sites just close. I'll be able to hear somebody snore if they have their windows open. They'll hear me because I snore. But, for an overnight stay, it'll work. I'm not setting up an elaborate, I've got here a week. So, but I'll show you what I'm having for dinner when it's ready. So I thought I'd show you how I do my bed when I load it up. Put all my bedding down first. That way it keeps everything clean, and I keep my bedding clean too, and I'll show you how. This is next the painter's plastic. It's a painter's tarp. So I'm going to spread that over the bedding before I put down, stuff from the tent. Now that's down. As you can see, I've got all the bedding covered. I'll start unloading the tent and putting it on the bed. Now this little, I call it a caddy, but it has different sections, and I keep that at the front. I can hold my drinks, a few snacks, Kleenex, things I want to get to while I'm driving. It's right there. Let's see what we have here. Oh, my buttermilk. This is my go-to at Cracker Barrel. Well, I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. I slept till about 7. Slept pretty good last night. Temperature was great. I was gonna make coffee, but I think I'm gonna throw everything together. Try and get on the road, stop and eat some breakfast. Because I don't cook when I'm traveling. We'll stop and eat breakfast. I think there's a Starbucks about 20 minutes away. So I'm not even messing with coffee. I'm gonna get on the road. I'm on the road again. I have about 5 hours drive. And I stopped at Starbucks and got coffee. I didn't even make it this morning. I will check back and say hi once I get to camp and get set up again. Took me about 45 minutes to break it down this morning, which isn't bad, considering. But it'd be much better if I was in a van working on that, I think. So, leg 2 of my trip is over. Come to a close today. I've got my dinner in the Hot Lodge at morning. I stopped at Old Faithful Cracker Barrel, and I had a sausage biscuit for breakfast this morning when I stopped and got my coffee. And then I didn't eat any lunch. Didn't stop at Cracker Barrel until about 2:30, and I had I'm tired. I can't think. I had one piece of French toast with 2 slices of bacon, something quick and simple. And then I ordered a vegetable plate to bring with me, so it's warming up now. So I got the bed unloaded and in the tent. I'm going to give this tent to my grandson. I had to pick it up before I left because I could not find my Kelty Eureka backpacking tent that I've had for 25 years. I used to use it when we were horse riding. But the last time I remember using it, I used it as a decoy tent in Alabama. Heading north into Tennessee, I stopped at a state park in Alabama and they required a tent. So, they had it right there at the check-in station, tent required. But, so I hate losing that. That was before I moved to Wichita. So, it must have gotten lost in the move from Florida to Wichita, because I wouldn't have thrown it away because it's ideal. It's a good little tent. I paid $100 for it 25 years ago. But I hate losing that. I don't know what happened to it. I went through all my totes in the garage. I've looked everywhere. But anyways, I had to pick up this little cheap thing at Walmart, and the poles are maybe, if you're lucky, an eighth of an inch in diameter. So it'll be a good tent for him to play out in the yard in, I'll give that to him on my way home, and I'll pick up something different, because that's not, if the wind whips up, there's not even anywhere to guy it down. It has the 4 places for the stakes. And I'll show it to you if I can figure out how to turn this around. Well, I can't figure out it. Let's see if you can Where is it? There it is. You know, it wasn't the cheapest one. It should have been. In fact, I could take it back because the silver things that connect each strand of the pole, they come off, you know, just free float. So I may take it back. Anyway, I'm not keeping it, I know that. You know, I'll pick up something else to use as a decoy tent. I'm not going to spend $100, but I'll have to spend more than the $30 I spent to get that. So I'm pretty much settled in for the night. Yes, I'm wearing the same clothes I had on yesterday. I did take a whore bath last night and, you know, slept in these clothes. But I figure, well, I'm traveling and I'm going to take a shower tonight, but I am wearing the same clothes from yesterday, so. But we do that when we camp, don't we? I'm right across from the bathroom. I am in Fulton, Mississippi tonight, and the name is Witten Park, W-H-I-T-T, W-H-I-T-T-E-N, Witten Park. Nice little park, small. I'm the only person here in a tent. Everybody else is in RVs, but no biggie. It's just an overnight stay. And I'm right across from the bathroom. I always try and book close to the bathroom. I had to, last night the bathroom was way up on a hill, and about, what time was it? It was about midnight. I had to use the bathroom, so I wasn't hiking up that hill to the bathroom, even though I was across from it. It was a hike to get to it. So I got on the other side of the car and, you know, took care of business. Nobody was on that side of me, so that worked out. It's a little humid here, more so than yesterday. Yesterday I was at Piney Bay Corps of Engineers. Both of them are Corps of Engineer campgrounds. I always try and stay at Corps of Engineer because I get half price off because I'm old. And it makes it affordable travel, really. Some of these state parks, Florida especially. Now, when I lived in Florida, I could afford to camp in Florida state parks because they give Florida senior citizen residents 50% off. But I'm not a resident anymore. But, you know, when we usually stay at national forest and state forest. A couple of times we've camped in the state parks, but they're usually so crowded, you know. I'd rather stay in the forest as far as Florida goes. So I'm just going to kick back tonight, and in the morning, I'm not far from town, so I'll probably just do what I did this morning, get up, pack up, and stop and get coffee and a biscuit and jump on the interstate. I haven't looked. I think I have another 6 hours tomorrow until I get to my friend's house, and which 6 hours turns, by the time you stop and eat and gas, turns into 7.5 hours. Today I started out with just 5.5 hours to drive. The GPS said it's 5.5 hours from point A to point B, but that doesn't factor in your stopping and eating, and I can't drive and eat unless it's a biscuit, you know. And I don't want to eat hamburgers. You know, I mean, I like hamburgers, but not from McDonald's. or any place like that. I want a good homemade hamburger when I eat one. So that's why usually my go-to is Cracker Barrel. I can get vegetables there, and you know, chicken, grilled chicken tenders. I do want to say I did this so that I can show those that are wondering, you know, how do I travel in a SUV and not set up camp, to stay overnight in places. And so that's why I wanted to show you how I did it. You know, I have to unload my bed. Now, your setup may be different. You may be able to, your SUV may be bigger than what I've got. Mine's a sardine can. So you may not have to carry stuff on your bed. You know, I've got my whole rear end, what is called the trunk. It is full as long as, and my bed is packed, as well as the roof box. Now, when I camp from home, although I do carry some things on my bed, I don't carry this much. You know, I'm going for a long trip and I'm delivering stuff to people, so I'm carrying extra stuff. But I still have to put a decoy tent up and unload the bed some, you know, when I travel in my state and want to take a while to get there. You know, why be in a hurry? I'm not in a hurry. So anyways, I hope this has helped some for those thinking, well, how do I do it? You know, I've showed you how I do it. Now, I will say I'm carrying my bicycle on the back end of my vehicle, and I don't go to the trouble of taking that off every day. I just leave it on the bike rack and cover it with a tarp. This is a nice, clean bathroom. Got 2 wash basins there. Toilet. Large toilet. And shower. A larger shower. Very nice. It's nice and clean, I will say that. I mean, it's an older bathroom, but it's nice and clean. Morning, 3rd day of travel. It's daylight now, but it's not quite 7. I'm gonna lay here till 7 in my warm bed. Temperatures were great last night. I slept really good. I'd like to be on the road by 8:15, so I'm not gonna lay here too long, but I'm too comfortable to crawl out of bed. Plus, I'm retired, not in a hurry. I want to time it to where I'm not going through Birmingham, Alabama during rush hour. So I'm about an hour outside of Birmingham, so not getting there about 9 would be rushing it a little bit. So I don't mind going through between 9:30 and 10. So maybe a little leisurely pack up this morning. But I'll talk to you once I get on the road again. I'm on the road. I got late start, about 45 minutes later than I wanted to leave. But I slept so good and slept in and lounged a bit this morning. I'm going to stop here in about 45 minutes and eat some breakfast. I feel the urge for eggs. I haven't had coffee yet, but I'm going to wait till I get there. My GPS took me from the campground to the interstate a different way than I went in, and I haven't seen any place to stop for coffee, so I thought, well, and there's nothing on this stretch so far. It's Bigfoot country through here. I'm in Alabama now, about 111 miles outside of Birmingham. So I'll check in at breakfast or maybe lunch, I don't know.